Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. My absolute, hands down, favorite time of year is spring here in Michigan. It is such an awesome time of renewal and warmth and, and getting out of, sitting inside all winter, it seems like, with snow and ice and rain and cloudy, and the sun comes out and the animals are just loving it. And this is also the time when a lot of our animals are giving birth. So between March and May is usually when our pigs and our goats are giving birth, and so it's an exciting time. So let me just take you through and kind of show you some of our goats that are ready to give birth here in the next 30 days and show you some of our new piglets that were just born last week. So we've got a bunch of these little goats. If you've been following along, we've got these little Nigerian dwarfs, and these two are kind of the shy ones. These were actually born on our farm a couple years ago, and they are tiny little goats. These are some of the smallest ones that we have. These two right here, and then this one was born at the same time, a little bit larger. These two down here are the mothers of those three, and these two are a little bit older. These are a pygmy Nigerian dwarf cross, and I've talked all about this before. This one here is actually a registered Nigerian dwarf. This is our buck, and these are all his crew out here in this pasture. And so these, all these does are all pregnant, and they should be giving birth in the next 30 days or so. These guys right here are looking a little bit, you can see their stomachs are kind of starting to stick out a little bit. She's definitely getting a little bit bigger. And these guys, these two over here, the pygmies, they always have kind of bulging bellies, but you can see they're they're looking pregnant. And you'll be able to really tell when their milk will come in, usually within a week or two before they give birth. And that's how we know for sure when they're ready. So of course we'll take you guys along for new goats. Goat kids or goat babies are about the cutest baby animal you can have. I think they come out running and kicking and jumping around and having a good old time. So they're a lot of fun. We also are raising these American guinea hogs. These pigs are a smaller breed pig. Again, check out some of my older videos for more information on this particular breed and why we have them. But we have a mother named Martha, and the boar we have named George. George and Martha, they have been breeding for us every year. And Martha generally has had 8 babies. The last year she had 8 piglets. This year she also had 8. However, we did unfortunately lose 2 of them within the first 2 days. The first litter she had last year was perfect, and no deaths, and they all survived and did great. This year, unfortunately, we lost 2 of them. But let's go check them out, and we'll kind of show you how they're doing. So here's the newest additions to the family farm, and Martha's been doing a great job. One of the things we have been struggling with her, you see she's rubbed off all of her fur on her sides here, and she's been itching at that, and we think that there's been a mite issue, although she seems to be the only one that has been affected by this. She was with the other animals in the same area, and the other pigs, they never had any issue, but she seems to have been affected by it. So we're going to be treating her for that. I thought it was the boar that was jumping on her and rubbing the fur off, but it turns out she's been separated from the boar now for a while, and this is still going on. So one of the things we gotta deal with often, we gotta figure out what these different problems are, worming and other things, and make sure we take care of these animals. None of the skin has been, red or raw or anything like that, but it seems to be itchy. She scratches on the sides of this hay feeder and stuff and just rubs that stuff off. So, but she's been doing really good. She's nice and healthy and chubby, and she's been feeding these guys and being nice and careful around them. So we have 6, and just our luck there, of course, we always want more females than males whenever there's a litter, whether it's goats or pigs or anything, because the females are worth more and they're better for us, of course, for breeding and other things. And we ended up with 6 males and 2 females, if you can believe it. I don't know what the odds are of that, only having two females, but that's what it is here. But they are pretty friendly. We've been out here with them every day. I try to scratch their backs and stuff like that every day, get them used to me. When I catch them all laying down, they'll let me pet them, but they're already trying to eat things that they shouldn't, I'm sure. I'm probably gonna choke on kernels of corn. We don't feed the pigs corn very often. I usually have that as kind of a treat. They love the whole kernel corn, and so we, especially if we need to get them to come to us or something like that, we'll use the corn. There you go. Okay. Are you gonna pose for the camera? Okay. No. Generally, when you pick them up and they start squealing, the Martha will come running over. We have the infrared heat lamp there in the corner. We've had some cold nights, but they have never even gone underneath it. They've been all curled up together or with Mama, and they've seemed to be doing just fine. Hey, chewing on my microphone cable. One of the things that we liked about this particular breed is that the mothers are very, very good with the piglets. They generally don't have trouble with laying on them or stepping on them and things like that. And in fact, last year we didn't do anything. We had the little farrowing crate built, and they never used it. The piglets never were in there. They were always snuggled up next to Mom anyway. And so this year we didn't use the farrowing crate idea at all. We just put the heat lamp over there, and they still didn't really use the heat lamp at all. They never laid underneath it. But one of the problems I had, and the reason that the two of those died, I think, right off the bat within the first couple days, is I had really put a lot of hay in here. I was feeding her really heavily a couple weeks before the birth, and I was feeding her a lot of hay. And the pigs, generally, they'll pull half the hay out and they'll eat it, and a lot of it they'll make beds with and things like that. And I just happened to run out of straw, and so I was using a lot of that hay for bedding. Well, the hay gets really thick, and it kind of intertwines with itself, and it's a lot harder for those piglets to move through and crawl through. And you can see what they do is they just kind of bury themselves in the hay. And when they were really tiny, last week, it's been almost 2 weeks now actually, they they just couldn't get out of the way, and I don't think that Martha could see where they were at or hear them. And what she normally does, the mother, before she lays down to feed them or to kind of tuck in to lay down and sleep, is she'll kind of call them. She makes a noise, and they kind of all come up towards her mouth, and then she'll very slowly put her back leg down and kind of sit down a little bit, and then she'll put the rest of her body down really slowly and then kind of roll over slowly. And I've seen this happen where there'll be a piglet underneath her or around her feet, and she'll step really carefully around them, and she's really good. And so it was really surprising that we did lose one of the piglets, but again, I think the bedding in here was just too thick. So next time I learned my lesson with that. And these three out here, these three troublemakers, they're what we call the three little pigs. They are, we're gonna start getting those guys nice and fat. They're looking pretty thin through winter here, and we'll get them out on the pasture now that things are starting to green up. We want to wait for the grass to grow up a little bit, otherwise they'll just root it all up and make a big muddy mess. Wait for that grass to grow up a little bit, and then we'll get these guys out on the pasture before we take them in to have them butchered. The nice thing about this breed of pig is that we don't dock the tails, we don't clip the teeth, we don't really do anything as far as that goes. They are just about as natural as you can get as far as the birthing process, and they just do really well. We've had really good luck with this breed, and they're just a great little pig. See, they dig in there pretty deep. And just around the corner here we have, well, of course we have all these little nosy goats, but we have Virginia. We purchased her last year, so she's still a little bit young. We'll give her another 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer, and then she'll be ready to breed with George, our boar. And she's the sweetest pig that we have. Actually, she's very, very friendly. Come here. This one loves to be pet. She just loves it. She'll just lay here all day. She might have some of the mites too. We'll have to get her. I'll treat all the pigs, make sure that we're all cleared up here. A lot of learning to do with these animals, you know, as they get older. You run into different things. We've run into some different things with the goats to deal with, and these pigs, you know, mites and lice and fleas and worms and all kinds of different things you got to keep your eye out for. So, but all in all, we've had really good luck with these animals. Been nice and healthy. Well, just a quick update on the new life here on the farm, and a little teaser. Some big things, some big changes to our farm coming this weekend. I'm excited, and I'm also eating my own words, and I'll share more of that as we get into this weekend and next week about what is going on. So stay tuned for that. And sometimes life just changes, and circumstances change, and things you said you'd never do, you find yourself doing. So don't forget to hit thumbs up on the video today, guys. Hope you guys like the piglets and just springtime in Michigan. So I'm excited. I'm going to get out and do some gardening prep and some other things today, and we're still boiling maple syrup. So almost done with that here. It's getting warm. But if this is your first time to the SSL Family Dad channel, I'd love to have you subscribe and hang out with us. We post a few videos a week, and of course lots of good stuff on gardening and farming and animals and hay and sustainability and DIY projects, and well, anything you can think of pretty much that I can take the camera along for. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.